Hey everyone, today we brought in an expert to show you how to build an amazing fresh cheese board. I'm Chef Patrick and you're watching Publix Aprons Cooking School online.
Hi, I'm Michael Landis. I'm an American Cheese Society certified cheese professional, certified sensory evaluator, and a world cheese judge. And today, I'm going to be talking about building a cheese board. So let's get started here. And I'm going to start off with a wonderful aged Gouda. And this is Beemster. Beemster is an amazing Gouda. As a matter of fact, it's what's known as a PDO cheese, a protected designation of origin. This gives it the authenticity of being an original European cheese. But what also makes it unique is the area in which it's made, which is Northern Holland. This cheese has a great buttery flavor with maple, caramel, really richness and a little bit of crunchiness to it. That beautiful color that it has in aging, and it's very easy to be able to handle. When you're cutting your cheeses, make sure that you cut them in the shape in which they are formed. No cubes, it's not necessary. So you can cut along the edge here, and that's just what I do. There is a wax rind on here. It is not edible, all right? Look at that, that's a beautiful little wedge that you would have here, and you're just able to kind of build up a little bit of cascading along with it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna pair this up with an apricot spread. The apricot spread adds some real sweet flavors to it, but the cheese will blend in really well by adding a little bit of a caramelization to it. And for my vehicle, I'm going to use a pecan cookie. Now this could be a dessert, it could be just really simple and flavorful. You just dab a little bit of the apricot spread, you got the cookie, and of course you have the cheese. This gives it almost like a apricot pie flavor, almost apple pie-ish in a way. Great little pairing, very, very simple. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna step into the cheddar world. The cheddar that we're going to use today is a Roth organic sharp cheddar. One of the things about cheddars is they come in many different varieties of mild, medium, sharp, and I chose the Roth Wisconsin cheddar. These dairy farmers of Wisconsin really provide a great milk, and this is what cheese is all about. The quality of the milk and the quality of the cheese making themselves. And Roth does a great job with that. So I'm going to cut it in half, and then I'm going to cut it along the lengthwise. And you can tell that this cheese has got a lot of butter to it. This is rich, buttery flavor, and it has a nice tanginess to it. It's a little acidic, and it has a little bit of a saltiness to it, but that really works well on the cheese board. Cut it in lengthwise, give it a nice fanning on your board there. And for pairing with this, you really want something that's going to take it up to another level, that's really going to help it. And I really believe that something a little spicy will work out really well, and that is pepper jelly. I really enjoy these. Now you would think I'm not a hot pepper person. Well, believe it or not, the cheese will actually calm down the heat of the pepper jelly with this. It'll take out just a little bit. And so you get the flavors of the jalapeno pepper with a minimal amount of heat. You can really taste the jalapeno without the heat, and it just gives it a nice flavor. There's also the jelly in here that adds some sweetness to it that really brings out a little bit more of the tanginess. Really simple and easy. So our next cheese is a complement to the cheese board, and that is a triple creme brie. So I'm going to go grab a nice cool piece, as that makes it easier to be able to cut into pieces. I'm bringing the cheese in from refrigeration because you want it to be cool to be able to cut it. And this is the Président's triple creme brie. There are several styles of brie available, and that would be a double creme, a triple creme, and a camembert. And Président's does a great job on all of them. And this is a particularly really rich and buttery cheese. What do I mean by triple creme? Well, that's up to 75% butter fat. And this rind on here is very, very mild. So on your cheese board, you want to make sure that you have all of these warmed up for at least an hour. So when you're cutting this, you can cut all along the side here. And you know, they make special knives, but if you have this nice and cool, it peels right off beautifully. So you don't have to worry about how you're going to handle that. You can cut it in smaller pieces. You can put it on top of crackers. You can do anything that you want with it. So it's very, very easy to be able to work with. I love this particular cheese for the amount of butter. And again, when we talk about the rind here, this is a bloomy rind, which gives you a mushroomy flavor. So yes, we eat the rind. My favorite of all the things that I can do with it is actually a fig spread. We have the fig spread, we have all this butter. So what's going to actually happen with this fig spread is that the sweetness that you get from it is actually going to be absorbed into the flavors. So to bring it back, to give it a little bit more oomph or intensity, I had a Marcona almond on this. And Marcona almonds are a little different than traditional almonds, where they are, instead of being that hard crunch, they got a softness and a sweet flavor to them. The figs are there. The butter is there, the richness, the flavors of the Marcona almond. Everything comes really well together. I mean, you really would just eat this whole thing because there's just so much flavor to it. Sometimes you're not able to find fresh figs, or there's a fruit, it's out of season. So having the spreads are really magnificent. And you know, when you're done, you just put them back in the refrigerator and use them again. We have to balance this out with something that's a little more tangy. Our next cheese is a fresh goat cheese, and this is Cheddar. This is an actual French goat cheese, and this is like one of the first ones that came to the United States back in 1989. And if you're wondering why it's cut off the top, and that's actually coming from Napoleon. Napoleon was fighting with the Egyptians, and he lost. So when he returned from the battle and got back to his castle and was being served, one of the chefs had brought out a goat cheese in a pyramid shape. Well, Napoleon didn't like that, so he took his sword and he cut off the top of it, and he said, all French cheeses that are in pyramids will be truncated. So that's why it's like that. You can serve this any way you want. I like to just dig into it. And you can use a crostini, you can use French bread, or you can use a water cracker in there. And you can see from this, this has got an amazing amount of creaminess. And for the pairing of this has got that tanginess, a little bit of lemon. So what goes better with a little bit of tang, lemon, and butter? Honey. That's right. So I'm going to add a little bit of, I'm going to drizzle the best that I can here on here. It's just an amazing combination. You don't want to use a flavored cracker. You want to use a plain cracker because you don't want to add in anything more. Remember, the cheese is the star of your cheese boards. Speaking of stars on your cheese board, if you like mozzarella, this is the BelGioioso Burrata. And this is another wonderful Wisconsin product. Mozzarellas are really based on the quality of the milk, and these dairy farmers in Wisconsin, they do it right, and they get this great milk. What's different about this is that it's filled with cream and extra pieces of mozzarella, but it really adds a nice freshness to your cheese board. So it's very creamy in its flavor. Again, you want to have it a little cool, but you can see here how much of that cream and cheese is in this. This is really amazing, the amount of cream and flavors on here. So what do you do with it? Well, get crostinis. You can put it on slices of tomato, a little bit of olive oil. It's like slabbing on butter onto that crostini. It really brings out a richness and flavor, and it's so nice and light. It's a great way to be able to start off your cheese board, and the BelGioioso Burrata is just the top. It's the king when it comes to a fresh part of your cheese board. I can go on for hours about all the incredible cheeses at Publix that you can add to your cheese board, and trust me, I have. I hope that this has given you the confidence to experiment with unique flavors and textures to add to your own cheese board. Use this link below to see the full recipe of what we made today, and be sure to subscribe for more Aprons Cooking School online videos and other great content from Publix. Thank you.